Hola, buenos dias. This is Spanish with Kate Languages. If you have purchased the whole lesson, you should have been able to download this PowerPoint that I'm going to talk us through during the lesson. If you are listening to the free podcast episode or you're watching the free video on YouTube and you would like to access the full lesson, then you can head over to katelanguages.co.uk/courses and click on the pre-recorded lessons tab. And this is the 5th of my Spanish pre-recorded lessons. And today I'm going to be talking to you about ER and IR verbs. So these are a kind of regular verbs in Spanish. So lesson 4 was about AR verbs. If you haven't seen that lesson, I suggest you actually look at that one first. AR verbs are more common than ER and IR verbs. I was going to say more useful. I don't know, they're all very useful. But yes, AR verbs, I do already have a lesson on that if you want to go and have a look at that one as well. Okay, so ER verbs. So the example of a regular ER verb that we're going to look at first is comer, spelled C-O-M-E-R, C-O-M-E-R, comer, which means to eat. Okay, so for the I form of comer, it is como, so yo como. As I said, I did a previous lesson on AR verbs and I went into a lot more detail about the pronouns, subject pronouns, and I'm not going to go through them in as much detail in this lesson. So if you don't know about Spanish subject pronouns, I suggest you watch the AR verbs video. Okay, so yo como. So we take off the ER, we keep our stem, which is com, and then we add an O, so como, yo como. Tú comes. So tú is singular, informal version of you, and our ending is es. Como comes, tú comes. Él o ella or usted. So él is he, ella is she, usted is singular formal you. Again, I explain that in a bit more detail in the AR verbs lesson, if you want to go and have a listen to that. That is all in the free sample of that lesson, by the way, if you'd prefer to just go over that quickly. Okay, so yo como, tú comes, él, ella, usted come, come. So don't forget, we pronounce all the letters in Spanish. So even though it looks like the English word come, it's not pronounced that way, so come. And that's just to be aware, especially if you're teaching English children. Sometimes when you see a word that looks exactly like an English word, it's harder for them to process and say it differently. So just to be aware of that. So, como comes, come. Nosotros comemos. Comemos, we eat, comemos. Vosotros coméis. Vosotros or vosotras is you, informal plural. Coméis. Y finalmente, comen. Comen. They eat. Or ustedes. And ustedes is you, plural, formal. But it's the they form of the verb. Okay, so to go through it again. Yo como, tú comes, él, ella, usted come, nosotros, nosotras comemos, vosotros, vosotras coméis, y ellos, ellas, ustedes comen. Thank you so much for listening to or watching the free sample of this lesson on my podcast or on YouTube. As I said at the beginning, if you would like to access the full lesson with the PowerPoint and also to learn how to conjugate IR verbs as well, then you can head to katelanguages.co.uk/courses, and it's there with all the other pre-recorded lessons. If you are perfectly happy with the free content, that's absolutely fine. If you would like to subscribe, rate and review, then that just helps other people to know that this is all out there, and it's nice to have a bit of feedback as well from people. If you are really enjoying all my free content and would like to support me in producing this free content, you can always go to buymeacoffee.com/Kate Languages and buy me a little coffee, which I would really appreciate. But just to let you know, it's actually more expensive to buy me a coffee than to download the full lesson. So your choice. Okay, hasta la próxima vez. Vamos a vernos. No, we won't see each other again, will we? Hasta luego. Muchas gracias. Adiós.